Hi Virgo, thanks for tuning in. This is your reading for August, which is Leo season, of course. While I'm shuffling, please take a moment here to check in, tune into your higher self, ask your higher self to connect to my higher self so that we can create a feedback loop to make sure that the messages that get passed through here are tailored especially for you. So I want to make sure that you get the most out of your time here with me. So please set aside any other tasks that may be distracting you and just focus all of your presence here with me for this reading. The more you contribute your energy to the reading, the more clear and vibrant and precise the messages will be, since we are actually connecting here through time and space. And it is more or less like, if you contribute your presence to this reading at this time, it is more or less like having a personal reading from me. So it's worth it to really pay attention here and really contribute your energy to this reading. You may even want to put headphones on so that you can really set aside any other distractions that are going on in the room around you. So let's take a look. What's happening for Virgo during Leo season of 2019? Okay. Give me a moment here to tune in. There's a few doubles in your reading here. You have 2 knights. You have 2 sevens. You also have 2 fours. We have the 4 of Pentacles and the 4 from the Major Arcana, which is the Emperor. You have the Lovers as well here, which is number 6 from the Major Arcana also. So that means you have 3 sixes in the reading. Okay, let's go in. The foundation of the reading, you have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, across this central axis of the reading, we're talking about energy that's in your unconscious mind and energy that's in your conscious mind, and how that plays out kind of in your day-to-day life. So, and then this central axis across this horizontal plane of the reading is like recent past and then potential future. There's no given outcomes in tarot. There's just potential. So, what I'm feeling here is that you may be feeling like, I'm getting for some of you with this six of wands is the crossing card of the reading. This is describing the challenge that you're facing at this time. So there's something here about needing to put your best forward. There's something here about presenting, presenting your best. I feel that there's something here about needing to show what your skills are. For some of you, this is like something competitive. For others of you, you may just be wanting to kind of pursue some ideas or projects that you have, and the drive is like how to make your talents and skills and the ideas that you have be evident to others in a way that will garner you respect and garner you awards and garner you, eyes, spotlight. And just give me a second to tune into that a little bit more. What I'm feeling here with that is that for some of you, you may have some ideas that are rather brash and very bold and rather like something sudden and unexpected, like a flash of insight perhaps that comes towards you, like an idea that you're getting about something, and you may want to rush into it and kind of pursue something without a second thought. And for others of you, this energy I'm feeling here is more about going back to things that you've done from the past and looking at how you can reinvent them so that you can present something new, but using the foundation of skills or ideas that you've already, pursued before. I hope this is making sense. What else is here? King of Swords with the Lovers in this quadrant, both upright. Now this quadrant is how you see yourself at this time. So this could be just simply you feeling very calm. Like while I described that energy of the Knight of Swords in the beginning there, of one which is kind of brash and unfiltered and a little bit impatient, wanting to rush forward into something without having a second thought. The King of Swords here is showing that you're actually of a very equanimous mind at this time. You're feeling rather quiet and still and focused on your endeavors that you are pursuing. There is also an energy here of connection and partnership, whether that's in business or in pleasure. I feel there's like on both sides of that equation there is energy here of connecting and reconnecting and bonding and alignment with another person, or alignment with a business partner, or alignment with the values and the goals of another individual that kind of makes sense for you, that suits you, that makes you feel very settled and calm in a way, that makes you feel like a belonging and like a recharged energy I'm feeling. There's also abundance that comes with that as well. What's standing out to me about this King of Swords at this moment, which I never really noticed before, is that on the sword here, there are these grains of wheat. So that kind of connects me to like a physical abundance as well, like a fruitfulness or a physical wellness that comes from the connection that you have with this other person. Now here you have Knight of Wands with the Sun, both reversed. This is the energy in your environment. So how I'm seeing this is that I'm hearing vitality. I feel like there may be a need here for you to kind of recharge and rest a little bit with the Knight of Wands being in reverse. And with also the Sun. Also, the Sun is always a positive card, no matter the aspect of it. But I've been noticing here that you also have the Sun, the Sun and the Strength card, which are both kind of Leo cards, both Sun energy cards, both here in reverse in your reading. So I do feel there is a little bit of an indicator that you may need to kind of use some time during this period to rest and recover, or really, if you're not able to rest, if you have things on your agenda that you need to pursue and move forward with, there is a reminder here to pace yourself and to take time to really rest and recover, and maybe eliminate any additional tasks or events or activities that are not specifically related to what it is that really needs your focus and attention, so that whatever time you have available outside of that you can dedicate it entirely to rest and recovery. I feel that that's an important part of this reading. Now, this central axis here, as I said, from the recent past to the near future or to the potential future, you have the High Priestess to the Strength card. I feel for some of you that this could be speaking to, I feel like this reading's a little bit like different topics being covered in one spread, but I'm not feeling like a cohesion with all these different, messages coming through. I feel like they're unrelated to each other for the most part, except the fact that the unifying thread is actually you. But what I'm seeing here with these two cards is that I feel there could have been something that came to light recently in the past that specifically has to do with something about you, something that you may have been unwilling to face for a while, about your behavior, or something about you and your motives that you were unconscious about. Some type of hidden agenda that you were unaware that you were playing out through your external world in a way that may have been detrimental to your relationships, whether personal or professional. And somehow this Strength card feels connected to that, in that I feel that whatever that is, or whatever that was, you are actually getting a grip on that, and you're starting to understand the connection between that type of behavior and the influence that it had on certain relationships, even though it was something secret to those people. It was something hidden. There was something that, some kind of behavior or attitude or pursuit that you've been going after, that had some kind of sublime or subtle effect on your relationships in a way that is not beneficial. And so I feel here that you're making a connection between those things, being that your relationship is getting and needing more nurturing than it had been receiving in the past due to your perhaps distraction over whatever this thing was. So I'm seeing here that you're starting to understand the need for restraint, the need for control, the need for reservation, pulling back your energy a little bit from something that may have been compelling to you, something that was secretive and hidden, and something that may have, on a very subtle level, been affecting the people around you without them understanding why or what that thing was. So take that as you will, and if you're not in this place yet of understanding the need for restraint and reservation, perhaps take this as a timely message if that relates to you at all, and understand that while people may not be aware of this secretive thing that you may have been pursuing or giving energy to, they may be feeling it energetically in a certain way, in an unconscious way, and they may not be able to put their finger on it, and you may not necessarily want to tell them either. But there is a need here for an adjustment of your energy and a correction of your values and your behavior in a way that can neutralize or limit or release that kind of subtle non-verbal communication that's happening, that is affecting people nearby you as a result of things that you are keeping hidden. All right, in the hopes and fears position, we have the Emperor reversed with the Nine of Cups reversed. What I feel is here is that there is, you may, again, I feel like each of the messages of this reading are kind of unrelated to the rest, and they're just kind of little vignettes, so take it as you will. What I feel here is that you may be looking to address and adjust some areas of your life, and it could be from small minor details to very major energies that you're wanting to catalyze to change in ways that will help you address your need and desire to feel more fulfillment and contentedness in life. And for some of you, that is specifically related to home life and feeling like you're empowered in your home life, that you feel like you have a sort of sense of authority over your own space and your own domain, whether or not you're in a family or not. There's something there about like needing to feel like, I'm hearing equality and contribution. So that could be something that some of you may be dealing with regard to your one-on-one relations or your home life in general, is the need to feel like you are contributing in a way that gives you a sense of equality and authority and power and sharing of resources in your home environment. For others of you, this could be related specifically to the work that you do and the business that you pursue, whether or not you're self-employed or whether you work for somebody else. There is here something about need to perhaps change the role that you're playing out as far as the tasks that you do or the way you present in a work environment, in order to feel like more empowered in the skills that you actually have, to kind of give your talents more voice rather than just fulfilling roles or tasks that are, bringing home a paycheck but that aren't necessarily feeling very satisfying. I feel like these two cards here on this outcome axis as well is also related to that. So you have the Seven of Cups in reverse with the Six of Pentacles upright. Again, it feels like you may be using this time to evaluate what things you are doing, what activities you pursue, whether personally or professionally. But I feel specifically here, because this is the Six of Pentacles, and this may be about your remuneration and your pay, like how you receive money for what. You may be analyzing and evaluating what it is that you want to present, how you want to be seen in the world, what you want to pursue for your financial remuneration in ways that brings a sense of empowerment and satisfaction, as well as a sense of equality and harmony and balance in both your home life and in your workplace. So a little bit of a patchwork reading this month. I feel that's it for the general spread. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Five of Cups upright, Nine of Swords reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, and the Hangman reversed. There's also Temperance here reversed. I'm going to take that as well. What is this? So what I feel this is here is that there, and this could be related to this this central axis of the reading here, where I spoke about this secret hidden things, or hidden behaviors, or hidden agendas that need to be restrained. I feel there's something here about needing to understand that what you need to give up is something that will actually benefit you in the long run, even if it feels like something that you really want, or that you really like, or that you really even need. Some of you may even feel like you need that. There is an energy here that shows a need to understand that by sacrificing and compromising what you feel you want for your sense of well-being, or for your pleasure, or for your enjoyment, or for whatever, letting go of that will actually create a greater liberation for you. So we could be talking about some kind of addiction here, you know. So I feel this Five of Cups with this Nine of Swords is saying that if you can, you know, willingly move away from something rather than wait, like it being taken away from you. This feels like you willingly walking away from it and addressing perhaps your attachment to it. This Nine of Swords in reverse is saying here that you can have a liberation, and that you can get a sense of release from something that may have been, or is maybe binding to you, or is maybe keeping you kind of in a limitation of some kind. And the Queen of Wands with the Hangman and the Temperance card all in reverse. I do feel that this is speaking to perhaps the lack of harmony that you may be experiencing as a result of this behavior, and that there is a need here to kind of seek to return to balance by making changes in your behavior willingly, rather than waiting for some kind of either exposure to happen or intervention to happen. But this is about you. I feel taking control is the word that's coming to mind, but it doesn't really, that doesn't quite feel right. But acting in a way with discipline, like bringing discipline to your own experience, to your own life, and rather than wait for, or rather than try to kind of avoid dealing with this thing, and maybe kind of continuing on hoping that you know you're getting away with it or something like that. And this is very extreme language that I'm using here, but if you can relate to this, what it's saying here is that there is a need here for you to perhaps address your own behavior in a way that will actually empower you, by helping you see that you may have been limiting yourself in a certain way. And again, as I said earlier, there was this energy here around how that may be that activity, or that secret, or whatever that is, could be affecting the relationships around you in a very subtle way, in an unspoken way, because you're keeping this to yourself, and you may not be speaking of it, and you may be hoping that nobody else notices. But I feel that some people around you, very close to you, may actually be aware, and they're not able to communicate to you about it, because it is such a closed energy that there's no opening for them to be able to approach you about it. So it does feel like this may be a kind of a process that's yours to deal with alone. For some of you that may not be true. You may be able to actually bring this to loved ones and actually receive nurturing and care from people. But for others of you, I feel like there's something here for you to undo of your own accord, in your own time, and be able to address and re-establish a new balance for yourself through applying discipline and will to your situation. Okay, that was the general reading. Let's take the Voyager deck now. So the Voyager deck, I'm going to do another higher octave reading using the same spread. We're going to take a look at possibly some karmic and spiritual forces at play that may be influencing our situation, to help us understand why we're in the current space we're in. And hopefully the spread will also provide some insight and guidance on how best to work with those energies to make the most out of the situation that we're in. So again, tune into the deck, bring all of your presence to the reading, send energy into the deck so I can get really clear messages for you. Nine of Wands reversed, crossed by the Nine of Worlds. Time space, which is judgment, and the Fool. Interesting. Five of Cups reversed, so that's that card. Woman of Worlds reversed. Ten of Worlds reversed. Six of Wands reversed. Eight of Crystals reversed. Ten of Wands reversed. Child of Crystals reversed. Two of Crystals reversed. Star reversed. And Four of Worlds reversed. So, don't freak out about all the reversals. I feel that there is a really big energy here for some major like shift. I don't know. I mean, like pretty much every astrology or tarot thing that you watch online is going to talk about transformation and shifting. But this at the foundation, you have the Fool in upright position, and the spread is crowned by the Judgment card. Now, these both speak about. Okay, so the Fool being in the foundation here is saying that there is a part of you that really wants to make a breakthrough and make a big shift into a new cycle and start fresh with something. The Judgment card, as the crowning card in this reading, is saying perhaps that while this is an unconscious thing, this is maybe what is driving you. What you're actually dealing with right now is maybe a very you might be feeling like you're being tested with fire in some cases for some of you. That may not be true for everyone, but some of you may be really under a lot of pressure and feeling rather unsure about your circumstances and unclear about how to go, in which direction, what decisions to make, and things like that. Because the judgment card is really about a rebirth. So again, like this Child card is speaking about a new beginning, but to be able to arrive at that place where you can start that new beginning, quite often there is like a time where things are very unclear and unsure and very can be stressful and feeling like under a lot of pressure and unsure about what's actually ahead of you. It can be a shrouded energy. So it's a kind of initiation that you may be going through, some of you. And now with all the other cards in the reading, literally all the other cards in the reading, with the exception of these two major arcana cards, are in reverse. Now, that's neither good or bad. It's just how the energy is expressing and presenting. And what I would say here, the overall feeling that I'm having is that there is this feeling of there being a lot of pressure, but with that comes this feeling of really wanting to break through and understand what actually brought you to this point and what's needed from you to be able to kind of pierce through and make a breakthrough into a new part of your life where you will feel like there is a better understanding of what it is that you're actually working with in this lifetime. Now, for some of you, this may show up in the form of, some catalyzing energy in the home front. There may be some changes in your relationship status. Some of you may be moving out of home or changing your location. Some of you may be changing your job. Some of you may be breaking up or separating. Some of you may be... You get the point. There's some major changes playing out in the physical world, but what it is actually representing is a major archetypal shift or an awakening within you where your frequency is really changing. And again, this is something that you'll hear a lot. If you're watching astrology and tarot online, you'll hear this, and it may seem like you may start to feel a little bit blasé about it. It may sound like, oh yeah, I'm hearing that again, but this feels like actually something very significant here. I'm just looking now where to go next as far as what to offer for guidance. I feel that there is this energy here about, like, there's a general feeling of overwhelming uncertainty, being that there is so many reversals and that a lot of them kind of speak about clarity of mind. So I feel like for some of you, you may be dealing with some confusion at this time. You may be feeling really kind of unsure about where you're heading and what to do next, what decisions to make and how to move forward. And I don't feel that I can actually give you any clarity about any of those things here with these cards in particular. But what I do feel I can share is that I feel there is a need for grounding your energy, like actually being really physical in your day-to-day routines and actually making the effort to actually ground your energy using either visualization or just awareness. You know, it's, I mean, it's one thing to kind of, you know, maybe exercise and do those kinds of things, that like very physical things to help you become more aware of your body. But I'm feeling here it's there is a little bit more to it with this, where there is actually a need to visualize energy actually being brought through your body and into the ground, so that you can actually feel like you're established firmly on the ground and that you're very here. Because there's a need to be very present here with what's going on, because I feel like this transitional energy could be potentially like a little disturbing and could create some anxiety and worry in your day-to-day life. So feeling very grounded, actually visualizing that, eating really well, and just being very present in every moment of your day, and establishing routines that may seem, you know, mundane and trifling or trivial, but actually those things become very important in creating a sense of well-being in your everyday moments, where if there isn't a sort of uncertainty about your future or your next movements, if you have kind of an established grounded routine of practices of your day in your daily routine, and especially in the morning hours, then that will help to build self-esteem and self-confidence, and help kind of calm you and bring you to a sort of centered place where you're actually able to meet the challenges that you're facing every day from a more balanced and a more practical place. So I know there's no groundbreaking messages there. There's nothing extraordinary about what I'm saying. It's very practical stuff. But I feel like the energy that's here is not really giving me any kind of really extremely profound clarity about what to do or what's happening or why. I feel like the energy here is kind of shrouded, and I feel that it's kind of how it needs to be at this time, because the lessons that you're going through, or the things that you're experiencing now, are for you alone. There is this Five of Cups again in your reading. This time it's in the position of the recent past. This is the energy you're coming into the reading with. And in the previous reading, it was in the position of the extended cards there. And I spoke there about it being a message towards, you know, what you need to give up willingly in order to kind of experience a sort of liberation from something. And I feel that's still relevant here in this reading. And it's coming out here to the Woman of Worlds in reverse. So again, I feel the need to say, like, being grounded is very important. Like establishing daily routines and habits that keep you in a harmonized space, but that also kind of ritualize daily mundane tasks to make them magical. That's what I feel here. There's like a need for kind of bringing a specific kind of presence and awareness to your daily routine, so that it does become a part of your magic, and it helps you to ground your energy and understand life through a macro lens. There's these two nines here at the center of the reading. Nine of Wands crossed by the Nine of Worlds. Both are in reverse. Again, I feel this is related to just your own personal, like your well-being at this time is being crafted. And it's about like establishing daily practices and routines and rituals that actually kind of confirm to you that you are self-loving, and that you do care, and that you are interested in your own wellness and health and well-being, and that's a priority to you. And that in itself is actually, I think, a large part of what's going on here, as far as helping you to establish yourself in a way that will create clarity over the next time period of what it is that you need to focus on. But I will also say here in your spread, in this spread you have like 2 tens, 2 nines, there's 8s. So a lot of cards that are kind of towards the end of the series of the minor arcana here, telling me that you are kind of close to closing out a cycle here, that there is going to be, as I said with the Fool Child card at the foundation of the reading here, there is a drive and a push here towards closing out this cycle that you're in and starting something new. And with the Judgment card being the crowning card of this reading, it's number 20 from the Major Arcana. It's also telling that there is like, you're kind of in the final critical moments of a cycle here, and I feel like probably by next month, the reading that will come through will probably be very different, where you'll know with greater clarity exactly your coordinates at this time, because I feel like you may not know exactly where you are. Like there's this up in the air feeling, and that's why I keep repeating about, you know, daily rituals and routines being very important to kind of help ground you in a daily practice of connecting to yourself, of being present with what's actually important in front of you, what your priorities are in each moment, and caring for the body and the self, and being very connected to your physical space is really important at this time. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups reversed, Child of Cups, and the Hermit reversed. Again, a lot of emotional energy here coming through. This part of the reading was a little bit more in the mind. Like I feel like there's a lot of, questioning going on about where you are, what's happening. Here is showing up as a bit more of emotional energy. Now we have a third 9 in the reading. So again, this feeling of like being close to completing or closing out a cycle. But with these cards being in the upright position, there is a feeling of, anxiety and tension that comes with your circumstance at this time. The Hermit as well, another 9 then, so 4 9s in the reading. The Hermit's in reverse here. This is telling me again that there is a need to, I feel the need to say here with the Hermit in reverse and with all these Swords cards in this reading, that I think it's important not to overanalyze things, because you may be kind of putting yourself in a space of undue stress and anxiety and worry by trying to overanalyze things. And I know that's easy for me to say. It's easy for me to say, but it really is important to strive to bring your attention to, as I said, the physical, mundane, the day-to-day rituals and protocols and practices that you need to do, to pay attention to bring presence to your life, to your daily routine, so that you can get out of your head a little bit and be focused more on what's actually in front of you. Make sure you're exercising every day, especially in mornings time. I feel it's better for you to kind of bring yourself into the day, starting out with that energy of self-care and rejuvenation and it's like a self-loving practice. Meditation as well is going to be really important for you. So seek out some, some kind of support with that. If you don't know how to meditate alone, then use some kind of guided visualization or app to kind of help you just like train the mind to be more quiet and less, let it run away less with ideas of anxiety and stress and emotional disturbances. I'm just checking over here, Virgo, but I feel that's it for your reading. I hope you found some things in there you can work with. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for your subscription. Please like, share, and comment. It will really help me to get shown up in suggested videos for people who are watching similar content to this on YouTube. I'd like to ask your help to help me grow my channel here. You can bookmark this and come back to it later. There's playlists on your screen now for previous Virgo readings from months gone by. You may want to go back and have a look if you're new here. There's also a playlist for the rest of the August readings for the other signs. You can have a look at any of those that jump out at you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in next month's reading.